one of the latest developments in one of the biggest true crime stories of the decade. It involves Jeffrey Epstein and his right-hand woman.
Breaking news here, Ghislaine Maxwell, the longtime friend and confidant of Jeffrey Epstein, has been denied bail after pleading not guilty in court today. She's charged with helping Epstein sexually abuse underage girls. Her attorneys had wanted her released from jail due to coronavirus. Prosecutors, however, argued that she's a flight risk, saying that she ran from officers when she was arrested.
During a search of the house where she was hiding, FBI agents reported finding a cell phone that was wrapped in tinfoil in an effort to evade detection. She has denied any wrongdoing.
Wow. Ghislaine Maxwell was so paranoid that she wrapped her cell phone in tinfoil. And I'm not going to lie, she's really a confusing woman. Because on the one hand, she allegedly ran Epstein's pedophile ring, but she also thinks wrapping her phone in tinfoil makes it untraceable? How is Ghislaine a criminal mastermind and everyone's grandma at the same time? I mean, if you're getting chased by the FBI, just get rid of your phone. How obsessed are you with your phone that you're like, I should ditch my phone so the FBI can't track me. Ooh, but then how will I check my mentions? But this arrest is big news. Because remember, other than Jeffrey Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell is the only person who potentially knows all the other men who were involved in this pedophile sex ring. And one of the big questions now is whether she's going to implicate anyone else like Prince Andrew, which would be a major development, because that story would absolutely dominate the British press. Unless, of course, Meghan Markle bought the wrong kind of avocado that week or something. But other than that, it would be the top story. Meanwhile, in international news, there's a big story developing out of Hong Kong. For more than 20 years, the former British colony has operated independently from the authoritarian government in mainland China. But now, China seems to be cracking down.
China is now lashing out at Western nations for taking action against its new national security law for Hong Kong. Beijing passed that new anti-sedition and subversion law that carries penalties like life in prison and secret trials on the mainland, and people are worried that this means the end of Hong Kong as we know it.
After Beijing imposed that national security law in Hong Kong, China now says 600,000 people may have broken it. Over the weekend, all those people voted in a primary election organized by the city's pro-democracy opposition. The Chinese government calls the election illegal. Hong Kong officials say they are investigating.
Yeah, basically what happened here is China promised that they would only use this new subversion law sparingly. And now a couple of weeks later, they're like, we're coming after 600,000 people who broke this law. 600,000 people. I mean, I guess when you're China, 600,000 people is sparingly, but still. And I think this is a terrible, terrible thing. You know, it is so undemocratic to arrest people who are voting against you. What you're supposed to do is just reduce the number of polling locations and tell voters that their IDs are incorrect because the picture has a black face. That's democracy. This is why it's frustrating when people in America don't use their right to vote. In any country, really. Right? Because in many countries around the world, you have to risk your freedom for that right. That's why I vote in everything I can. American Idol, Twitter polls, student council elections, everything. Yeah, I don't go to that school anymore, but if they can't get pizza Fridays, then none of us are free. Moving on, let's check in with Tucker Carlson, Fox News primetime star and mom haircut model. Last week, Carlson's head writer was busted for having a secret account where he posted the most racist, homophobic, and misogynistic comments online. So Fox News got rid of the guy. But it appears Tucker Carlson might have some mixed feelings about how it all went down.
Fox News host Tucker Carlson is publicly addressing the revelation his former head writer posted racist and sexist material.
We should also point out to the ghouls now beating their chests in triumph at the destruction of a young man that self-righteousness also has its costs. We are all human. When we pretend we are holy, we are lying. When we pose as blameless in order to hurt other people, we are committing the gravest sin of all, and we will be punished for it. There's no question.
At the end of his show, Carlson announced he is heading on a long-planned vacation.
Well, we're out of time. Going to spend the next 4 days trout fishing. Long planned. This is one of those years where if you don't get it in now, you're probably not going to.
Okay, first off, I love how every time Tucker Carlson gets in trouble, he takes a planned vacation in the middle of the week. The guy's packing his suitcase in the studio like, I've been planning this thing for a long time. I love starting a vacation midweek because the trout never expects you to show up on a Tuesday. Look, man, if you feel the need to say your trip was long planned, then you know it definitely wasn't, because that's never a detail someone shares when they talk about a vacation. The trip was long planned. That's not something anyone says. This trip was planned as much as anyone plans to shit their pants a little bit when they fart while waiting in the line at Whole Foods, hypothetically speaking. And another thing, why is Tucker Carlson blaming the public for his head writer getting fired, right? Fox News chose to fire this person, not the public. And if Fox News fires you for being racist, then you're racist. The most confusing part of this story for me is why this guy made these racist posts in the first place. I mean, you already write for Tucker Carlson. Imagine writing racist shit for Tucker Carlson's show all day, and then you go home and write more racist shit in your time off. That would be like me relaxing before bed by doing a second daily show.
And that's why Trump is racist. All right, good night, world.
And finally, some news out of the White House. With America facing the worst unemployment since the Great Depression, the Trump administration has been looking for some way to help people get back on their feet. And what they've come up with is this.
Ivanka Trump holding a virtual roundtable with Apple CEO Tim Cook and IBM Executive Chair Ginni Rometty to launch a new ad campaign to help those out of work. It is called Find Something New.
Right skills. Find an apprenticeship.
I found a medical course online.
I'm now a consultant in the tech space.
You have more options than you think.
You will find something.
You will find something new.
Okay, you know what? I don't hate this. Giving people training so that they can find new jobs is a great idea. It's just surprising that it came from someone who's never had to find a job in the first place. But you gotta admit, it's a little unfortunate that the Trump administration is working against itself. Because yeah, you say you're trying to help people find a new job, but your coronavirus response is also shutting down all of the jobs. And to be honest, I'm not sure many ordinary people who are looking for work are gonna get much out of these ads. I mean, there might be one person who could benefit from this program, but those ads would need to be a little more targeted.
Are you dissatisfied with your job? Work used to be fun, but now Corona has screwed up everything, and no one wants to hang out with you at work. Well, maybe it's time you find something new. You could be a baseball player, or a coal miner, or even a cool cowboy. Yee-haw! So, if you're Donald Trump and don't want to be president anymore, find something new.
I want to be a movie maker.
Sure, why not? You could be anything.
I want to be a cheerleader.
Maybe something else. But if you don't want to be president anymore, it's never too late to find a job more suited for your skill set. Find something new. Anything.